So I got a confession to make. Once I reached that age where I no longer needed the assistance of my mom or dad to use a public bathroom because I was a big boy now. Ever since then, I've never shit in a public bathroom, nor have I ever used a urinal. And if you aren't familiar with a urinal, essentially it's a toilet in guys' bathrooms. It's stationed on a wall and it's designed so men can stand up and pee. And so ever since I reached that age, I've not only have I never shit in a public bathroom, I've only used a stall, and I refuse to do either of those things. And there's a plethora of reasons. And there's many places people might consider hell on earth, and for me, public bathrooms just happen to be one of them. They are terrible. I have many terrible memories linked to public bathrooms. I recall back in elementary school, I believe first grade or before, I walked into the restroom to see this kid shitting in the urinals. Now, urinals are not designed to be shit in. In fact, I recall the kid's legs dangling, so it must have took some effort to get on that urinal in the first place, all to the shit. But regardless, this guy has my respect. Whatever his motive may have been, he explored unknown territory. And I'm not the only one who admire this guy's bravery, because this dude had a whole crowd. Prior to me walking in, there were like 3 other kids standing there watching in disbelief. Like, how could such a kid do something so dangerous? It was absolutely terrifying, but it was more terrifying for the teacher who walked in to see what all the fuss was about. And oh man, bro, her face said it all. I just know she wanted to quit then and there. But after a few seconds, everyone was just paused. Everyone was shocked. The teacher finally decided to take control of the situation, but she tackled it so terribly. So, first she told the boy to get off and walk to the stall. Which, he should have just done that to start with. If I recall correctly, the stalls were empty. But, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the stalls weren't empty and he really had to go. Just imagine you were one of the people in the stalls and you just leave, and as you're leaving, you see a sight. You see a sight of just a kid, shitting himself in the urinal. But regardless, I do gotta say, the space between the urinal, where you'd supposedly sit in a urinal, and your ass cheeks is 0 to none, meaning shitting in the urinal would be the equivalent of taking your pants off and then sitting on the ground like some concrete and just shitting there. So I didn't get a look, I didn't want to look, but I'm assuming as soon as he hopped off, and because he had to hop, his legs were dangling off, you gotta remember, as he hopped off, his ass was probably smothered in shit. It's terrible, man. In a toilet, the space between your ass cheeks and the water is big, so you have room to shit. You don't have room to shit in a urinal. So this kid, he hops off the urinal. What's left is a urinal clogged with shit. Some of it was even dripping from the side and splattering on the floor. But for some reason, the teacher had the bright idea to flush the urinal. Why would you do that? I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She's a woman, she's not familiar with urinals. But you can literally see where the water is supposed to be drained when you flush. When you flush the urinal, it's literally clogged with shit. So if you were to flush it, the water would have nowhere to go. And so now we just got shit water going everywhere to make the situation even worse. And now everyone was shocked. Now everyone is terrified, absolutely terrified, man. I don't recall much of what happened afterwards. I'm pretty sure everyone just dipped. The teacher was like, let's get the fuck out of here. And I think we just went to another bathroom and the janitor had to deal with it. And then my prayers goes out to that janitor, that kid, and anyone who had to witness that traumatizing event. And that whole chaotic event traumatizes me to this day. I've always been a shy pooper, or a shy bathroom user all around. And this this just sealed the deal for me. I really like my privacy and all, and I never really understood urinals to begin with. Like, urinals don't provide a lot of privacy. Some have walls to like block people from looking, of course, but like sometimes those are ineffective when you're either a tall person or, you know, peeing beside a tall person. In fact, I actually recall, and those of you who went to school with me like remember, that the bathrooms in our third and fourth grade like campus didn't even have urinals. It was just like they had this mini bathtub attached to the wall that the kids would just line up beside each other and let loose. It's like, I mean, it's weird, but you know, back to what I was saying, I feel like the only privacy urinals provide is through like morals and ethicality. I don't even know if that's a word. Like the only thing really preventing somebody from looking at your wee wee is like the social norms we set. Like, it's weird to look at a person like it's weird to like peek over your shoulder and look at the person peeing beside you, right? But you know, if a person really wanted to look, like, they would, and like it would make them a creep. But you know, like I said, the only thing preventing them is the social standards or whatever. And frankly, I just use the stalls, the very back one in the corner specifically. Like that one tends to have more space than the others for some reason. I don't know why, but it's the one that makes me feel the most comfortable in. You know, it has a more comforting aura, and there's many benefits to using the stall instead of the urinals. But I will be gatekeeping those because, you know, the stalls. I want the stalls to be empty and less occupied anytime I go. So I will name some of the cons. Like sometimes they're like really occupied by people already, and you know, which is part of the reason I want to gatekeep, and so less people can use the stalls. But also, like, there's people, I'll just call them 1.0 GPA motherfuckers, who just don't flush, just leave the toilet in a bad state. I'll get to them later. But regardless, I only use the stall whenever I use the restroom. But that doesn't mean that I don't have any bad experiences with the stall either. In fact, I recall, and once again, I recall back to first grade or before, sometime in elementary school. I once again walked in the restroom and was on my way to go into the very corner stall, the last one. But that's when I saw that the stall before it was inhibited by somebody. I could see their feet, but strangely, the stall was open, the door was open. And so as I was walking past it, I accidentally got a glimpse. I accidentally caught a glimpse. And you know, I was in terror, and I just froze then and there. And the people behind me that were like also trying to use the stall, they also froze in place. What we saw was this kid. We're gonna call him Butt Cheek Boy. So Butt Cheek Boy here was putting on a whole show. So he was leaned over, right? His ass facing us, right? Facing outside the stall. And he was clenching his ass cheeks. He had two hands, and he was like squeezing his ass cheeks in and out, right? And he was using his ass as a puppet, essentially. He was playing it as a character, as some kind of Muppet. And he would talk. He'd make this voice like, "Hey guys," and then he would like squeeze his ass cheeks. He was doing this, putting on a whole show, and like he had several characters. He had toys. He had some toys. I don't know how he like smuggled them in, but he had two toys, and he was putting on a whole show. It was fucking crazy. I saw it all. It was fucking terrible. It was one of the first times I've seen an ass cheek. You know, I was young, like I said, elementary school, before first grade. First time I saw an ass cheek. It's terrible experience. And you know, I can't lie though, I stayed and watched the whole thing until a teacher came and said, "What are y'all doing?" And you know, I went and used the restroom. But you know, although I was traumatized, I was immersed. This was the first time I was seeing some ass cheeks. So that's that. So those are some experience with the boys' bathroom I've had. You know, I don't have much experience with the girls' bathroom, which is to be expected, but I do have one, which I'll get to later. Right now, I do want to discuss something. So I saw this on a girl's story once. It was a picture of like her friend or her sitting on the bathroom floor. And when I saw this, I was utterly shocked. I was amazed. I was flabbergasted. So y'all's bathroom floor is clean enough to sit on? Like, what the fuck? See, I can't say the same about the boys' bathroom, right? There's like, you know, one time I was late to class because I really had to go to the restroom. But when I got in there was like piss everywhere. So I had to Indiana Jones my way through the piss and ultimately piss. And thing is, I mean, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was just toilet water, cuz remember the 1.0 GPA motherfuckers? Yeah, they're terrible. They just don't treat the bathroom with respect and just fucking leave it in shambles. It's not like uncommon for them to just clog the toilet. So maybe it wasn't piss. Maybe it was just toilet water that like got on the floor because they clogged the toilet. But you know, I'm not taking the fucking chance. I don't care if it's toilet water or piss. I'm not stepping on either. So I had to Indiana Jones my way there and ultimately piss. And you know, I was late to class, but you know, that just says a lot. Like, geez, man. Like, boys' bathrooms are like, as soon as you walk in, it's like a nuclear war ground, man. It's fucking terrible. The 1.0 GPA motherfuckers, it's like they always find something to entertain themselves. Like, I remember these kids were like getting a bunch of napkins or shit, wetting them and throwing them in the wall. Like, and then the wet napkins would get stuck on the wall, and they would be like, oh, your wall, the napkin sticking wall is funny. It was so stupid. Like, it's whatever. Honestly, like, respect to you girls for keeping your public bathroom a safe place. Can't say the same about the boys. Now, I do have one last story, and this story takes place in my freshman year. So I was staying after school, and I really needed a piss super badly. I needed a piss really badly. Now, I normally like go to the restroom during school between 3rd and 4th period, or somewhere like in between there during. And the hallway that I go to, the boys' bathroom is on the left, and the girls is like on the right. And normally, like, after I use the bathroom around this time, I usually never have to go again. But because I was staying after school, like it was getting a little late, I was like, damn, I really gotta go. So I rushed into the bathroom and went into the very last stall in the corner as usual. And when I entered, something just felt wrong. And then I got distracted by some bloody tissues in the trash can, like right beside the toilet, and I thought to myself, like, damn, that must have been one hell of a nosebleed, or whatever that may have been. Then I realized it kind of smelled like Bath and Body Works, and then everything clicked to me. Like, I connected all the dots like I was some sleeper agent, and I realized, holy shit, I'm in the girls' restroom. And then, like, I rushed out of there. I was so embarrassed, and I noticed that, like, on my way out, that there was no urinals, only stalls. And I don't know how I didn't realize this when I was in there. Yeah, and then when I got out, the janitor and my friend who was waiting for me were both laughing their ass off. I was like, damn. And then I apologized to the janitor. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so used to the boys' bathroom being on the left. I really apologize. And then she just kept laughing. I don't even know if she understood. And I don't know if she spoke English or whatnot. But so yeah, that's about all. Public bathrooms are pretty shit. I hope y'all enjoyed. This was my first video. I do have better stories coming up. I just didn't want to use like a really significant story on my first video, since I'm still learning, you know, the ins and out of, you know, editing and all that stuff. So do stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, you know, all that. YouTuber sellout stuff, be sure to leave a comment too. And I did want to say thanks to these people on the screen real quick for contributing one way or another to the creation of my YouTube channel and this first video. So yeah, shout out to these people, and y'all take care. I'll see you later.